initially started with, I guess, blockchain about 9 years ago when I first got involved. And uh, one of the many projects that I got involved with was called the XTC network, which is a fork of Ethereum. But in essence, it has everything that Ethereum has, but it's everything Ethereum wants to be.
Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. In today's video, this is probably going to be one of the bullish video breakdowns that I've made for XDC in a while. So pay attention to detail. Every single thing that the researchers have been attempting to tell you all is materializing right before our very eyes. If you enjoy these video breakdowns, these deep dives, reading fundamentals and combining them with video clips, showing you all devils in the details, do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. We are almost at 26,000 subscribers. I could not be more grateful to you, the viewers of the CYPRX YouTube platform. We do appreciate the love and the support. So let's jump in, buckle up your seatbelts. This one is going to be one for the record books. So I said to you guys on Twitter, and I'm going to back what it is that I'm saying by playing a video clip of a panel discussion from just last year in 2023 of these reputable individuals from large financial institutions confirming exactly what it is that I've been attempting to tell you all. And I said, I know for a fact people are currently butthurt over the XDC lack of price action right now, right? Obviously, of course, all these developments surrounding XDC and people are wondering, well, why is the price not significantly bullish right now, right? It's only 3 cents. Oh my gosh. But zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Like the researchers have been trying to tell you all, they have built this new digital infrastructure in such a way where it can sit dormant, unshaped, on standby until the big boys are ready to use it. And when they do, and they will, so many people will regret not taking advantage of these opportunities. Let me back what it is that I'm attempting to show you guys in tweets like this by playing a video clip of an individual representative from JP Morgan confirming this for you all. Take a second and listen.
And fast forward to today, we have a great panel with some really important institutions who are experimenting in crypto. So, Tyron, if you could give us some history about and perspective of the transition from private institutional blockchains to maybe more public, or what you guys are using today. And Eric, I know you have really interesting opinions on where that's going to go in the future.
Yeah, and maybe I can just provide a little bit of context in terms of just the traditional financial services market and how we think about the requirements really to be able to operate a safe and sound system. So JP Morgan processes about $10 trillion of payments every day. That's 400 times the global stablecoin daily volume. The global FX market is about $5 trillion. And so when we think about utilizing blockchains as a settlement layer, we need the infrastructure to actually support these volumes, and we need them to support the, the scale that the traditional financial services market is at. So right now, clearly, there are a number of reasons, both technological-wise, but also regulatory-wise, as to why we have to use permissioned blockchains. However, you can think about these, globally ever-present, always up, highly redundant public blockchains as a really, really attractive settlement layer that can, service this global market. However, until we actually solve some of the key challenges, specifically around privacy, specifically around things like AML, KYC, it does become difficult for us to fully step into that environment. We did a project last year with the Monetary Authority of Singapore where we demonstrated what it would actually look like for a regulated institution like ourselves to utilize public DeFi protocols, to utilize public blockchains. And very clearly, there were lots of very insightful learnings for us. The transparency that you get around DeFi pools, for example, the ability to have any-time price discovery through a DeFi protocol, very, very important and interesting. Also, the lower cost. But as I said, until we actually have some clarity around the ability to actually operate on this infrastructure from a reg perspective, we're going to have to be in the sort of permission view until we can take some of the hybrid steps. And those hybrid steps look like some of the existing infrastructure that is coming out right now around subnets or permission zones or these kinds of things. And from our perspective, the reason why we operate an EVM sidechain is so that everything that we build can actually be portable into a public environment. So, and from our perspective, the reason why we operate an EVM sidechain is so that everything that we build can actually be portable into a public environment. So All of our developer tooling is, utilizes the public Ethereum ecosystem's tooling set. So actually moving into the public blockchain environment when we can will be much of a sort of a lift and drop scenario.
Boom, right? So that's not coming from me. I'm not making this up trying to tell you all, as my followers, as my viewers, that they've built this infrastructure in such a way where it can sit dormant, unshaped, and on standby until they're ready to use it. This individual literally said, in a sense, plug and play, right? You can plug and play these digital assets. You can transition from the old infrastructure to the new infrastructure, i.e. the new world, when you're ready.
So actually moving into the public blockchain environment when we can will be much of a sort of a lift and drop scenario.
I don't know how else to make it as clear as what it just did. Okay. It's absolutely mind-blowing that even after a video clip like that from a reputable individual from a large financial institution will blatantly tell you to your face, people will still be like, oh, that's not true. They didn't build this infrastructure, this new digital infrastructure, to sit dormant while they test it and while they proof of concept it, blah, 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 blah. Yes, they did. And if you really truly understand that, you will understand why the digital asset XDC is only 3 cents, even with these ongoing developments. So today, we're going to pay attention to more detail and paying attention to key vocabulary, utility, infrastructure, new laws, new world, right? All these things that we've been attempting to show you guys for the longest on the CYPRX platform. Deutsche Telekom joins real-world asset-focused XDC as infrastructure provider in digital asset push. Massive keyword right there. The company already runs nodes on multiple blockchain networks and is considering Bitcoin mining. Its Web3 head revealed last month at a conference. Now, this is updated information from Thursday. So, German telecommunications giant Deutsche Telekom subsidiary announced on Thursday, that's today, as of time of recording this video breakdown, I don't know when I'm going to upload this, but this is from today, the 25th of July, that it will expand its Web3 services to the XDC network as a blockchain focused on tokenization of real-world assets, trade finance, and decentralized physical infrastructure, i.e. DPIN. This addition utilizes our enterprise-grade infrastructure to enable secure blockchain-based applications with a focus on the finance sector, said Dirk Roeder, head of Deutsche Telekom's MMS Web3 unit. On top of that, the company operates validators on a range of proof-of-stake blockchains, including Ethereum, Polygon, Matic, and Polkadot, and offers a staking service, i.e. hint, hint, DeFi, where customers can deposit tokens and earn rewards, maintaining the network. So we're going to focus on keywords like infrastructure, DeFi. XDC is a layer 1 blockchain that is compatible with Ethereum virtual machine EVM that claims to offer fast transaction speeds and near zero gas fees. The network hosts Euro and US dollar stablecoins and tokenized versions of real-world assets such as gold and US treasuries. So with that in mind, okay, we're going to read one more fundamental piece that took place from this month in July, because XDC has seen some massive bullish developments this month in July 2024. So we're going to head over here. I posted this to you guys as well, and then we're going to roll some video clips of some panel discussions showing you guys again that these financial institutions are telling you all utility, use case, infrastructure is being built, new laws are being written. I can just not stress enough. So here I said to you all, in the beginning of July, the XDC Trade Network platform has successfully completed a pre-shipment financing transaction against an electronic promissory note. So here is that fundamental piece. You can go in and you can look at the details. On the 25th of July, 2024, we promised to pay Trade Finex the sum of USD 42,826, US 42. You see all the details, right? This is from Trade Finex, okay? Trade Trust. So this actually happened. This is insane that this took place. So we're going to pay attention to detail. We are delighted to announce that XDC Trade Network platform has successfully completed a pre-shipment financing transaction against an electronic promissory note. The electronic promissory note, EPN, was issued using the Credior platform, which leverages the Trade Trust utility. We're going to take a pause right there. Listen to what this gentleman says about utility.
And then another use case or part of the value proposition is because it's on chain, like literally it's on the block explorer. I could go look at that system of record and see what I own and when the last dividend was, where I don't have that transparency with a centralized database that's behind kind of a walled garden. So part of what we're doing is trying to make the case like, hey, this is better, safer, to actually have it out there on a permissionless chain.
Well, the value is that it's actually easier and faster and better to build financial products on a DeFi stack than it is to build it on the old traditional financial stack that was built over the last 50 years. And that's why you're seeing major banks, major PBs start to build things like tokenized money market funds. Because they see this and they say, oh, the crypto rails are actually better for trading these traditional assets than the current rails that we have. So we're going to move over slowly.
Is trying to make the case like, hey, this is better, safer, to actually have it out there on a permissionless chain. And then once that additional utility comes, I think that's when you get to these extra value add that crypto brings. Not just making it cheaper, but to do new things that can't be done on TradFi rails. And once that additional utility comes, I think that's when you get to these extra value add that crypto brings. Not just making it cheaper, but to do new things that can't be done on TradFi rails.
Right? Carrying on, and is complying to the MLETR requirements. So again, new laws, MLETR requirements, that is all brand new. That all just came into fruition like last year and will continue to develop, and countries and jurisdictions all over the world will continue to adopt these new laws. And listen to what this lady says about how they are in the process of rewriting these laws and how it's going to take time. Take a second and listen.
Financial law today is still written for paper-based securities, which rely on intermediary to enable trust between financial participants. But today, a public blockchain can ensure that trust because everything is peer-to-peer and automated in smart contracts. You don't need those financial intermediaries to give those guarantees to users at the end of the day. And so with those new assumptions, we have to rewrite law to adapt for this new world. And that's quite a lot of work.
Same for finance. Banks hold a huge amount of data. They control a huge amount of payments and pathways in trade, but basically they need to move where their customers are moving. So it's a mutual education process. And I think in a lot of cases, we need the government to step in and use their position of authority, not necessarily regulating, but to engage, lead by example. I think the single trade windows are really important for them to adopt globally interoperable standards. And we just all have to kind of educate each other, look at each other, and join up and move together. And the thing is, we're not going to transform global trade in a year. It's going to be inch by inch by inch. But we have to take those gains because at a certain point, we're going to get to that critical mass, and then it's going to really, really flow. But until then, we just got to keep working hard, take those quick wins, and make sure everybody knows about them.
So this is all absolutely massive. I cannot stress enough that individuals and organizations that do not adopt these new digital technologies and these new laws and requirements will lack competitiveness and will fall behind. Take a second and listen to other reputable individuals on panel discussions that have taken place this year tell you all the exact same thing.
Other countries, but also aligning it with the work that others on the panel are doing in that global environment. So we want those tier one suppliers to get LEIs, to understand the standards to the extent they need to, and also to recognize that this is a global impetus. And if we in the UK, or if a particular country doesn't get on board, there is a risk that they will compromise their own competitiveness as a result. So
I think so, because the UK is a major economy. It's got a huge trading footprint. And because the passage of the ETDA was not just one thing, it was actually part of an integrated trade strategy, which has seen the UK basically revamp its trade strategy and build new partnerships, new relationships, establish new trading corridors, which give business the platform and the confidence to go experiment. The biggest issue I think we're facing is that what we're asking businesses to do is actually stop doing something which works imperfectly and try something which you don't know will work. Okay. And that leap into uncertainty is not what people in business generally get rewarded for. So that's why they seek, okay, what's the business case? How am I going to make my return if I invest this much, and get it back within this year? What am I going to do if it doesn't work? Are my trading partners doing so? So they're seeking other reasons to jump on board. And that's why they always say, oh, well, if it's for compliance, I'll do it, because then the choice is out of their hands. And so it's an easy yes. And so I think what the ETDA has done is actually add confidence that the way forward for the UK is digital. And you better get all your investment and your people in this direction, because there's no turning back.
And last but not least, just to confirm that we are witnessing a massive transformation. Take a second and listen to these other panel discussions from the ICC panel discussion that took place just a couple of days ago, and listen to what they say. This is not a joke, ladies and gentlemen, and people that are focused and fixated on the lack of price action right now on digital assets like XDC are going to miss out on massive opportunities for life-changing wealth in the next 2 to 5 years.
Yeah, thank you, Chris and Nick. I'm delighted to be here today because I think we're at a very pivotal moment in the transformation of global trade. Why do I say that? It's because basically the building blocks are all coming together. So if we think, what do we need to transform trade? You want the legal environment to basically get reform, and that's happening.
So with that being said, and all of this information combined, it just goes to show that we have been attempting to tell you guys that they are, for a fact, building out a new infrastructure in such a way that it can sit dormant and unfazed until these big players are ready to migrate over and start utilizing these digital assets. And in my personal opinion, remember, keep in mind, individuals incorporated with the XDC network, like the CEO of Impel, have told you in previous video breakdowns that these digital assets are the secret sauce to making all of this work.
Initially started with, I guess, blockchain about 9 years ago when I first got involved. And one of the many projects that I got involved with was called the XDC network, which is a fork of Ethereum. But in essence, it has everything that Ethereum has, but it's everything Ethereum wants to be. Regarding the ISO 20022 API, so we try to make it as easy as possible for existing entities that are using traditional providers just as a plug and play model. Else they would just kind of transition into a peer-to-peer decentralized model. Still using Nostro accounts, still using the central bank to settle up at the end of the day. So that would be a blend of the two, as we had talked about earlier. The next generation model is adding the digital assets in the messages payload.
So with all of this information in mind, if you enjoyed this video breakdown, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. Always bringing you guys the realest information. We do appreciate the love and the support. As always, make sure that you're doing your own research out there. None of this is financial advice, and I will see you guys in the next video breakdown.